All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is going into the book of Proverbs chapter 16 and 3. All right, because when you read it, all right, Proverbs 16 and 3, it says, commit thy works unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and all thy thoughts shall be established. Okay, so when you go into this precept, it's a two-tier precept, and the first tier is dealing with what? Commitment. Okay, and there's a certain commitment, that the Lord requires of those that say they believe. You say, when we say we believe, then we're taking on a commitment, because belief is shown through what? Action. Okay, and to really believe, it takes time, resources, sacrifice, patience. Those things are all a part of belief. Okay, no, there's no true belief in just word. True belief is something that's shown. Because you can say you believe anything, okay? But actions determine, all right, if we really believe. Our decision making determine if we really believe, man. Patience, steadfastness in this thing, okay? So the Lord is calling on more of a commitment. The Lord, begins to shake things up, around us, okay? Causing things to happen, within Israel, within GMS, okay? This Lord is showing us, look, I'm requiring more. He shows us in our day to day, and he has certain things to happen, to where he addresses the church, and he's requiring more. Okay? Because to get to the next level in anything, it takes more, all right, commitment. Okay? A basketball player, all right, in high school takes more commitment than junior high. Okay? In college, there's a different commitment, than high school. Okay, and that's when you start seeing certain players fall by the wayside, not because of lack of talent, because of lack of commitment. Okay? Lack, because commitment comes with that sacrifice, man. So the scriptures say, commit, okay? Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established, man. Because as we commit, to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he begins to establish our thoughts, man. Gives us confirmation that we're doing the right thing, that we're on the right track. Starts to mold our mindset to think like him. When more we tap in with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he begins to mold our mind to think like him, to react like him, to move like him. Okay? Because that's what this thing is all about. Okay? So commitment has perks, but it takes patience to get to those perks, man. And it takes that consistency. Okay? Because you go here, let's get this in the book of Psalms. Okay, 119. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119. All right, you get Psalms chapter 119 and verse 104. Okay, Psalms 119 and 104. And it reads, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. So the more we submerge ourselves in these precepts, by default we begin to hate this current society, was based off a false way. It's built off deception and rebellion against righteousness, man. So the more that we, delve into and are committed to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, by default, we grow a disdain for this world. We begin to grow a perfect hatred, develop a perfect hatred for this society, man. Ain't no getting around it. We are committed to Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, by default, it comes with a hatred for this world, man. Okay, because this world is everything, all right, that the Lord hates. Okay, it's established on everything that the Lord hates, man. Okay, so we're more committed. As we're committed to this, you know, there's a development of hatred for this society. We hate every false way, you know, and we would much rather, you know, chant this place down, you know, than be indulged in the madness, man. Okay, and it says, verse 5, it says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path." See, this word is a light unto our feet and a lamp unto our path, which means it's showing us the way to move. Okay, being committed to our power is showing us how to move in a particular way, man. You know, going back to our thoughts being established. Okay, being committed to the Lord. All right, I say the Lord begins to mold our mindset, man, to where we understand how to move. We understand when to fall back, when to go hard, when to, you know, what to separate from, what to attach to, what to, you know, fall back from, what to double down in, how to maneuver. It's time to let this go, time to let that go, time to embrace this. Okay, and it's all in these precepts, man. These precepts are the instructions, man. The Bible is really like a man telling, you know, his woman his likes and dislikes. That's the Lord addressing the men of Israel, telling him his likes and dislikes, like a man would coach his woman up in his likes and dislikes. Okay, and as that woman what is more pleasing, she gets more access. Okay, she gets more access, and then as she began to follow those instructions, she begins to think like her husband. Even if her husband is not around, she begins to think like him. You see? So the Bible, you know, is like a man giving his woman instructions, man. Okay? That's why you have, let's get this. Get a couple more. You know, just want to get into this real quick. 2 Timothy 3. Okay, in 16. It said, "All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instructions in righteousness," man. You know? So we are learning, you know, how to be committed through these instructions, man. We're learning righteousness through these instructions, man. Who's the volume of the book? Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh Shai is the blueprint of righteousness, man. He came and fulfilled righteousness. Okay, and the main thing was obedience. Okay, over the flesh. Okay, he chose obedience rather than the flesh, man. He didn't go left or to the right. He stayed the course, man. He stayed to the path. He was committed. Okay, and his thoughts was established even in the clutch. You know, when it was time for him to make that ultimate sacrifice, man, he didn't talk much because he knew, okay, this got to be done. His thoughts was established because he was committed. He's the ultimate example, man. You know, you got plenty of other forefathers. Another thing going into this book, as you read about our forefathers, man, you see how they move. Okay, and that gives us something. It sets a standard for us to judge ourselves on, man, how we're moving. Okay, and we get in these same situations that we read about in the scriptures, man. Okay, so let's go here because we're gonna be paid off on the back end. You know, it's to the point now that, you know, we know the reward is at hand. You see, and like I said, the more we believe, man, the more we be chill. Like if we really believe, man, you be good on a lot of things because we understand what's to come. We be chill, man. You know, that's why it's nothing to tap into this because, you know, the flesh is like, oh, you missing out. You could be doing this. What they say, the fear of missing out, FOMO. Okay, nah, man, you don't have no fear of missing out when you believe in eternal immortality. Ain't no such thing as fear of missing out. How? Okay. How the hell wouldn't then what am I missing out on? Okay. Society is trash. People are trash. Okay. This is terrible. This is the most degenerate, low quality kingdom. Okay. Which has reduced the most degenerate, low quality people ever, man. So what the hell could we be missing out on? All right. Psalms 37:4 said, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart, man. So this is our delight now. We delight in this. You see? Hey, we have the privilege to praise Yahweh Bashim Al daily, man. We delight in this, man. We have the privilege to get close to our power and learn a little more daily, man. This is our delight now. Okay? And it says commit. I'm back to the word commit. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust him and he will help you. Okay? Or you reading in the KJV, commit thy way to the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass, man. So even the Lord knows our desires better than us, man. The Lord's going to give us our desires customized just for us in the kingdom, man. Okay? This kingdom is all about, the scraps, especially the Israelite working man. The best you're going to get is the scraps. Okay? Whatever you got is the scraps. You see? And the Lord's going to give us our desires, and it's going to be customized just for us, man. Okay? It's going to complement who the Lord wants us to be, all right, in the spirit forever, man. So we got much better coming. We got much more coming. We got everything coming, man. Every desire that we can think of, even desire that we don't even know we want, hey, it's coming with Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai said his reward is with him, man. All right? And we believe that. Okay? And now we're tasked with being committed until that reward shows up, man. So, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.